Here we are in windy Berlin, right outside of the Showstoppers show at IFA 2018, and Skagen, which is one of the fashion brands under Fossil, is here to show off its new Skagen Falster 2 Wear OS watch. It is the second generation of what I think is the prettiest Android Wear or Wear OS wearable out there. So new on the Falster 2 that the first one didn't have though are heart rate sensors and NFC and built-in GPS, but more importantly, the Falster 2 apparently also now runs the new redesigned Wear OS that was just unveiled maybe a day or two ago. So we haven't really had a chance to show you, the viewer, the ins and outs of this new OS, so let's take a closer look. So first thing you'll be greeted by is the default watch face on Wear OS, and this differs from manufacturer to manufacturer. Obviously on Fossil Skagen, you get the Skagen watch face. Now swipe over to the left like I just did and you'll pull up the Fit move points and heart move moments and heart points face, where it's not really actually the app that you see here, just the rings to show you how far you've gone in collecting your activity points for the day. But tap in and you will launch Google Fit. Now you can start a workout from here. You can also, see details about your fitness goals. Doesn't seem like it's really doing much now. I'm not sure if this preview version is really built for that just yet, but this in tandem with your heart rate sensor now on the Skagen Falster 2 will monitor your pulse and help understand your cardio activity throughout the day, leading you to collect your heart points. Back to the home screen, and now swiping over to the right brings up Google Assistant. What you'll see here is instead of an assistant that's just kind of waiting around for you to tell it what to do, this page is more like a feed of your upcoming activity. Google was very careful about Assistant this time around and wanted to make it feel a little more proactive. And so it's presented things that it feels will be useful for you. For example, the weather forecast, your upcoming appointments, predictive suggestions over there with the Assistant icon, prompting you to maybe ask for more information or maybe get directions to your next appointment. And then it's telling you about your commute, as well as whatever else it thinks might be important to you. A flight to Boston, for example, that might be upcoming is delayed, which is important information to know. Going back again to the home screen, swiping down brings up the quick settings panel. And one of the new features here is the dedicated pay shortcut for devices that have NFC. Now, not all Wear OS watches have NFC, of course, so when there's one, you'll have the option of tapping it and then now being able to just tap your watch against a terminal and pay for your transaction, which is very handy, and it used to be very hard to find before. Finally, as we swipe from bottom up, it is our notifications feed, but the change here is sort of subtle. Instead of each notification taking up the entire page now as a full card like it did before, notifications on the new Wear OS now feel more like a stream. And they kind of just overflow into each other. But more importantly, tapping into each notification expands it and shows you actions you can do with it from within the screen. You don't have to actually go into another page or slide on over, wait for another animation before you can do something with your notification. As I went over how everything was redesigned in the new Wear OS, I also touched on the three key areas that Google was focusing on when it sort of redid Wear OS. The first being the speedier navigation system. The second being a more proactive Google Assistant that's more ready to help you, which we talked about earlier. And finally, putting your health and fitness information closer to the surface and making it therefore a priority. Of course, the Skagen Falster 2 is not just about the software. It's also a stunning piece of hardware right here. We've got the 40mm case with a smaller bezel than before, and this magnetic mesh loop, which makes it much easier to adjust for a very snug fit if you want, or a looser, more comfortable attachment. The Skagen Falster 2 is also water resistant, so should you want to take it for a dip in the pool and track your swims with Google Fit, you can. One thing I am concerned about though is that this thing uses a Snapdragon Wear 2100 CPU. And considering that Qualcomm has an event coming up on September 10th to launch its new wearable chip, it's very likely that by the time the Skagen Falster 2 launches, its chip will already be outdated. This watch will be available on September 12th, starting at $275 in the US for a silicone band. And if you want this gorgeous mesh loop band, be prepared to fork over about $20 more. I think it's worth the premium though, because this thing really, to me, looks so much better with the metal band. To get all the details about the Falster 2 and all of the news out of IFA 2018, stay tuned to Engadget.com.